The Swartberg Pass is for many South Africans the Rubicon of gravel road passes. There is an allure and a mystique around this old pass, coupled with its status as a national monument, which elevates this pass to the very top of the list. It was Thomas Paine's final and best piece of road building. The pass is quite long at 23.8 kilometers, and it takes about an hour to drive, excluding stops. You'll be treated to a wide variety of incredible scenery. The pass is not suitable for anyone suffering from acrophobia. From the northern start at the crossing of the Dorpsrivier, the road traverses a short stretch of open plain, but the massive bulk of the looming Swartberg blocks the way ahead, other than a single narrow gorge through which the road winds. The highest peak visible at this stage is unnamed at 1,532 meters on your left, whilst the slightly lower Voetpadsberg on the right tops out at 1,402 meters. A low, dry-packed wall appears on the left as the mountains begin hemming the river and the road in. These walls are the first of hundreds of such examples that you will see along the length of the pass. They were the work of Thomas Paine, then at the height of engineering prowess as a road builder. The small river, which appears as a docile little stream, becomes a raging and destructive torrent when flash floods occur. During the night of April the 10th, 2017, such a flash flood swept down the kloof, destroying everything in its path. Thomas Paine's retaining walls, which had been standing guard against the river for 130 years, buckled under the might of the river, and the 2-kilometer section of road from Malfadrai through to the northern end of the Poort were completely devastated. It took modern equipment and techniques almost 10 months to repair most of the damage, taking due care to rebuild the walls to appear as close as to Paine's original work as possible. Some blue gum trees appear on the left as a clearing pops up on the right, a large flat clearing where some ruins were evident. Apparently, the house was used by Paine as a workstation during the construction phase. Immediately after the clearing, the road bends sharply to the left and approaches the second river crossing via a concreted drift. This is normally shallow and should present no problems to most vehicles. This lovely spot is known as Eerste Water, which means first water, and was the first point where oxen and horses could be watered before tackling the big climb to the summit. There's lots of shade at this spot, and it makes for a great picnic site and is well protected from the wind too. Once over the river, the road bends to the right and follows the eastern bank of the river. The road has been hewn out of the mountain here and is quite narrow. If you meet an approaching vehicle, one of you will need to reverse to a wider section to facilitate passing. Soon the road crosses the river for a third time, this time a low-level concrete bridge, which is called Tweede Water or Second Water. Around the next corner is another excellent picnic spot named Malfadrai or Wild Geranium Corner, so named after the wild geraniums that grow there. The section from Tweede Water to Malfadrai also got severely damaged during the 2017 flood. The road now enters a series of S-bends and swings away into the southwest up a major kloof, known as Mullerskloof. This kloof also gave Paine the most trouble. In May 1885, a devastating flood swept across the Swartberg Mountains, washing away most of the road in the adjacent Meiringspoort and causing a long closure. Bain's brand new road also suffered damage, but Bain learned his lessons well and rebuilt the damaged sections of the road further away from the river's flood levels. The road also begins climbing more steeply here, reaching a gradient of 1 in 9. The rocks along this section often appear blood red depending on the time of day. The photographic opportunities are endless, and there are enough places to pull off the narrow roadway and park safely. On the left-hand side, on the opposite bank of the river, you'll notice a footpath snaking up the mountainside towards an obvious saddle. This is the 6-hour Malfa Dry hiking trail and is apparently a lot tougher than its gentle name suggests. The nearest town to the pass is Prince Albert, just 4 kilometers from the northern end of the pass. There's plenty to see, from flora to fauna and some mind-boggling geology. The fynbos is at its best in winter, and spring with proteas, ericas, restios and pincushions in profusion. The pass is a national monument, and like its sister pass, the Montague Pass near George, stands in proud defiance of modern technology. It would be a shame if these roads were ever tarred, as their core charm would be lost forever. A plaque commemorating the efforts of the men who built the pass was unveiled on the pass's centenary celebrations in 1988. It stands at the western side of the road near the summit. This was the last pass that Thomas Bain built in the Cape, and it was surely his opus magnum. At the 4.4 kilometer mark, there's a lay-by on the right, which allows access to the ruins marked as Blikstasi. These ruins were once the convicts' home who constructed the pass. Access to the ruins is awkward and requires some physical effort. Shrubs and trees have overgrown the ruins, but if you have the physical capacity to scramble the few meters up the slope, you'll be rewarded with a perfect view of the old walls. These are approximately 2 foot thick and consist of rocks and stones held together by mud. The building apparently had an iron roof, hence the name Blikstasi, or Tin Station. The road now climbs steeply into the southwest towards a huge slab of exposed and contorted rock face. This is marked as Droewaterval, or dry waterfall, as most of the year this rivulet is without water. Coming up are the famous 4 hairpins that feature in so many photos of the Swartberg Pass. Drive slowly and carefully and be constantly aware of approaching traffic, as the road is narrow here and both vehicles will need to move as far left as possible and pass each other at a crawling speed. Some drivers get so engrossed in the scenery that they forget to keep left. Be constantly aware of meeting an oncoming vehicle on the wrong side of the road. Along this section are some of the best examples of Bain's dry stone walling method. Some of them reach a height of 13 meters. This is also the kloof that was featured in the TV commercial with well-known South African singer, songwriter, playwright and actor David Kramer, chasing his beloved Volksie bus up one of the hairpins in his trademark red veldskoens. There aren't many places to pull over safely, but there's one good spot right before the third hairpin, which allows a wide scope for photography. It's a great spot to stop and breathe in the clear mountain air and savor the majesty of the impressive landscape. This is one of the top 5 highlights of the Swartberg Pass. Here you're likely to see baboons and klipspringers, the latter which seem to float up the mountainside with no apparent effort. If you have the time, you'll see that as part of Bain's drywalled roads, he constructed underground tunnels to disperse floodwaters. The man was a genius and way ahead of his time. The pass falls within the Swartberg Nature Reserve and is large at 180,000 hectares and provides hiking, picnicking, 4x4 routes, mountain bike routes, bird watching, swimming, and just being close to nature. Don't miss part 2 of the Swartberg Pass.